Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's the Theban Gamer. Today we're going to be doing a full beginner's guide on Enlisted. We're going to go through just the different aspects of Enlisted, the different soldier upgrades, the different squad upgrades, different types of squads, and then just all the different things that you can see throughout the menus in Enlisted. This game really has a bare bones tutorial, so I figured just doing this for like fan service, giving people a good view of what they can expect in the game, and just giving people some tips and tricks that they can get more out of Enlisted, just starting off. So here we can see we're in the main screen here. When you load up Enlisted, it'll ask you to choose a campaign, and when you go into a campaign, these are basically just the different expansions of the game. It is free to play, so they're not like paid expansions or anything like that, but they're basically just the different theaters of war. The latest one is Battle of Tunisia, but they all have their differences. For example, Battle of Berlin is more urban combat and a little bit closer quarters, whereas Invasion of Normandy is more open beaches and like open areas within the country of France. So just choose a campaign that you want. Battle of Tunisia is not bad because there's a lot of new players and existing players. So that's the one we're just going to go into. So in Battle of Tunisia, you're confronted with these four main tabs. We're going to go through each of them in detail just to see like what each tab does. And let's get started, I guess. So down in every campaign, you have an allied and an axis squad. These squads basically, at least when you first load in the campaign, these squads are going to be basically infantry squads with sometimes one tank squad, depending on the campaign. Sometimes you'll get a free tank squad, or sometimes you'll just have to buy one itself. Sometimes you'll get a free sniper squad. So you'll have three squads when you start the game. These squads will have a varied number of soldiers. You can upgrade this as well, right? So if you have 5 soldiers here, you can upgrade it to have a maximum of 8 soldiers, and that'll show right here how many soldiers you can have in each squad. The squads are also varying in like what you can have. So for example, this is a rifleman squad. So this squad only allows a maximum of 8 riflemen. You can't have machine gunners or other troops, at least not without upgrades. Just keep that in mind, right? This one's more of a diversified squad with upgrades. You can add some of these other positions like AT gunner, engineer, assaulter, which is basically an assaulter is basically just someone who has an SMG. So that's really what an assaulter is. We're just gonna go to a different squad. We also have a tank squad here. The tank squad is pretty nice. Tanks in this game do take a lot more skill to use, but the tank squad is nice if used properly. And here you have your guys as well, and that's just their loadouts. The tank squad, by default, their loadouts will not have a primary weapon, but you can go in and add a primary weapon if you want to. In this case, because they're in the tank, I'm not really using them in that role, so I didn't add the weapon. With the squads, you can upgrade your guys, and that's part of the game, I guess, part of the progression of the game. When you have an upgrade, you'll have this little arrow next to the guy, and in the arrow you can kind of go in and go through the upgrade, right? So with the upgrade, you can do different things. You can upgrade the weapons, right? So if there's a better weapon, it'll show in this screen. For example, if I wanted to just give him a primary in general, I could just give him this Sten. I'm not gonna, because again, I don't want to waste it on my tank guys. But it's just like something you can do for the weapon slot. You can upgrade the pistols, get better pistols. You can give your guy grenades. These are different infantry grenades. Molotov cocktails, the M2 grenade. The explosive pack is pretty important. This one's a anti-tank grenade. This one's extremely useful for anti-tank roles. And this is one that I put on almost every squad for that. You can also give them, different tools, different med kits. The med kits are extremely important just for like reviving your guys. That's pretty important. Here, if we go to the perks tab, these will upgrade over time as well. You'll start out with 1 perk, I believe, on all your guys, and then you work your way up to get more and more perks. With these perks, they include different things. Some can include higher health, a higher jump limit, faster changes in stance. So like if you're if you're changing from crouch to prone, faster reloads, things like that. But as you play with your guys in battle, you'll earn more XP toward the soldier, and he'll get more perks, and you can add those perks as you see fit. I'm gonna check if we have soldiers that need any perks. It looks like not. But yeah, there are perks that you can add. Let me see if we can get soldiers that need perks here. Yeah, so this would be an example of someone who needs a perk. You just click on the perk. They give you choices. These are basically random, so you can't really kind of like choose like what 3 you get, but you can't choose the one you choose. So I'm going to choose the health regen. That's basically adding a perk to your soldier. Another thing we're going to go through is we're going to go through the weaponry. So again, not every soldier can own every weapon. It depends on the type of soldier. So if you're a rifleman, guess what? You're only having access to rifles. And that's basically going to be what your soldier can do. If you're an assaulter, you get SMGs. If you're a machine gunner, you get machine guns, right? Every different soldier is going to have their specific weapon that they can carry. And I believe you can unlock the second slot as well to get more guns. That's kind of nice. I do like the specialization as well because it kind of forces you to be more tactical about how you deploy your men. So we kind of went through the weaponry, kind of went through the perks. That's basically a nutshell how you upgrade your squads. Now you can also switch out your squads. So if you click on this plus side right here, +1, this is basically going to show you your reserve squads and then your active squads, and you can add these basically squads as well if you want. What I find is, even just because I'm a free player, even having like 2 squads is enough, because the squads regenerate back pretty quickly. Once you're done playing with one squad, you'll just regen to the next one. So even having 2 squads is really enough, and having 4 is pretty perfect. The squads do have some limitations. So for example, for the fighter squadron, you can only have 1 vehicle squadron. So if you want to add the fighter squadron, you have to replace the armored regiment, and vice versa. If you want an armored regiment, you can't have a fighter squadron, so you can only have one of those 2. And it shows you right here: 1 vehicle squad, 1 motorcycle squad, and then 3 infantry squads for my squads. This basically lets you put in new squads that you unlock into the lineup, and take other squads out of the lineup. And yeah, that's kind of all that there is for this soldier screen. If you go to the campaign screen, this is basically where you unlock new types of squads. As you play, you'll get a campaign level, and this level will give you access to these guys. So like, this is a fighter pilot. This is some type of shotgun, right? As you play, depending on if you're premium, you'll get all the unlocks. But if you're free to play, you're gonna get these certain unlocks. So pretty important. Your unlocks will show up on the screen, and yeah, that's that. If we go to the upgrades, this is basically where you upgrade your squads. Every squad has their own upgrade tree, so it's not like you upgrade one set and it applies to all squads. And these upgrades will change how the squad plays, right? So, for example, in this case, I have options. I can go to a sniper, I can go to an engineer, or I can go to a radio operator to be like my auxiliary soldier, right? But you can't choose all of them. So in this case, I chose a radio operator. That's kind of what this squad's going to be about. You can add more men into the squad. So like, if you have 5 men to 4, you can add a 6th man to the squad. I believe the max squad size in this case would be 8, but it does vary by the types of squads you get. Beside the direct squad upgrades, you can upgrade the guns themselves. So unlocking the sidearm slot if you want a pistol. Personally, this is pretty useless. Not a lot of people use pistols, but if you want to do that, you can. And it just gives you like different experience and different upgrades, right? The workshop upgrades let you upgrade your main weapons. The Kar 98, right? Just upgrading, maybe the reload on it, right? Maybe some of the bullet drop, things like that. You can upgrade them and then like go all the way down the chain for these guns. So that's pretty nice. If you really like a certain rifle, you can just kind of keep going down the chain and upgrade them like that. And yeah, that's to upgrade them. All you do is just basically click. You just click on the upgrade itself, right? And then you hit unlock, and voila, you have them upgraded. And that's the squad upgrades. If you go to logistics, this is basically kind of like the store. This is where you would buy new weapons and troops. And basically, if you have different categories, this is just weapons, just troops, and this is like grenades, landmines, things like that. So if you go to weapons delivery, you'll see that there's a random weapons delivery. This is like the cheapest one. It's basically just like a, to be honest, like a loot box of weapons, depending on what you get. If you purchase it, it'll just give you like a random weapon, and it'll add it. Again, like, remember, when you purchase a weapon, you don't get unlimited amounts of them, so you have to keep purchasing weapons with the more squads you have, right? So that's like kind of like one caveat and why you have to, right, like, keep purchasing weapons. Going to the rifles, you can see the rifles that you have. SMGs, right, for the assault class. Heavy weapons, for the machine gunners. You have a ton of options for weaponry. Aircrafts, different types of tanks, etc., etc. If you go to the troops, this one's pretty important too. Depending on what type of squad you have, you can purchase a troop. So if you have a sniper squad, you can have like maybe 2 snipers in it. You can have, maybe more assaulters in the squad. You can have another tanker if you want a loader to make stuff reload faster. More riflemen, right? And then you have a whole list of guys. You unlock these guys later on into the fight. So it's something that you have to like kind of grind out if you want to get, a better rifleman or a flame trooper, or an engineer, stuff like that. So those are kind of your options for reinforcements. Then you have like some of the tanks, special rifles, some of the paid content, even biker squad out here. Another thing you also have is you have this caste system. In the caste system, you have enlisted gold, which is basically just paid coinage. If you have a premium account, I believe you get so much of this. You also have your orders for weaponry. You have 3 types of currency for weaponry. You have the bronze currency, which lets you get random weaponry. Silver lets you get the basic tier rifles, and then gold lets you get the best weapons in the game, as seen here, right? So this guy would be gold, this tank would be gold, and then this rifle would be a gold unlock. Troop reinforcements are the same things. So you have an order for troops in bronze. You have a silver order for, like, if you want to choose your troop, and then you have a gold order for the best type of troops, such as this gentleman right here. So those are pretty much the currency systems, the campaign systems that we're going through. One thing I'm going to go through is maybe some like tips for new players. If you're just starting off, again, there's not really much of a tutorial on how to upgrade. So I can kind of show you like stuff I do and stuff that's pretty helpful. So right now, one thing I would do is make your first squad the rifleman squad. These are kind of the bread and butter of how you attack. They give you good medium and long range firepower, and they're pretty useful. So making your first squad a rifleman squad, and then when you upgrade the squad, let's just go to upgrades, right? Make sure to unlock extra troops. And you may say, like, why extra troops? Like, what's the difference, right? AI aren't even that good. Well, when you die, you can just spawn in as another one of your troops. So it gives you more people to spawn in as, right? And it gives you an advantage, right? Because you just get more firepower with more troops. So upgrading to these squad size increases are extremely important, right? Some of these, adding a sniper, engineer, right, radio operator, those are like maybe something you want to do down the line. The main thing is you want to make your squads bigger, so that you can have a full-size squad and take full advantage of the squad. One thing I would also do is, I wouldn't really get these sidearm slots because I think they're a waste of upgrades. No one really uses pistols, so it's like they're not really that effective. It's not really worth it. Workshop upgrades, I'd save these for later. Your starting guns are not bad, and you can kind of use these later, in my opinion. Now, if you just feel like you really need them and this is kind of how you play, then you can upgrade your gun full on through. But I'd recommend just upgrading the squad sizes first and some of these squad upgrades in general before you move on to your final squad. One thing I'd also do if you're a newer player is have one armored squad. So what I mean by that is have a squad that you can counter other armor with. You don't want to maybe start with a fighter squad in there, right? Because the problem with fighter squads is that they require more skill to use. They're not really direct support on the ground, and if you don't have somebody on a team who knows how to use a tank, it's going to be a rough day, right? You need to know how to counter other people's armor and then like just use these tanks effectively. So I'd recommend having an armored squad with just the just the basic tank itself. You don't really have to upgrade them as much, but it's very helpful to have a squad like this. You can counter other armor. Another thing I do is make one squad, at least one squad with assaulters in them. The assaulters are good at clearing at close range combat, and they're gonna really make the difference if you get into buildings. So having at least one squad with the assaulter classes and having these SMGs available is extremely important. It really gives you more diversity if you want it. Another thing is you will get a sniper class by default. I'd recommend just leaving at least one sniper class. Again, you want to be versatile in how you approach stuff. So having a sniper class available is extremely good. It's just like it gives you the versatility to be long range, medium range, and short range in what you do. So having a sniper class available is pretty well recommended. One other tip I would give as well is to maybe have explosive packs and at least one person in every squad. These packs are anti-tank grenades, and you will need them when you're facing any type of armor. They will, if you throw it directly on a tank, they will kill the tank in one hit, and they're extremely useful. So instead of having maybe other grenades, you can have an explosive. You can have explosive packs. They're good against infantry as well. So if you want to use them as a regular grenade, you can. The only downside is you can't really throw them as far, and I don't think you throw them as quickly. I think the animation is a little bit longer, but other than that, they're really the same thing. Medkit, I'd recommend having medkits with every soldier. This is probably the best item that there is, because medkits, if you get shot and it's not a headshot or a fatal shot, you'll get into like a second chance mode, and you can literally heal yourself up or heal a friendly squad member up if they need it. So having medkits is paramount to success. So yeah, that's basically my sort of beginner's guide to Enlisted. Just trying to help the community out to get a head start in this game. This is a game that I've been having a ton of fun with, and hope to share that fun with you guys. So thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.